Hi, it's Ed here for Gaiscioch magazine. We are here with, well, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Hey, my name's Danny Garfield. I am the director and programmer of the Metronomicon.
And the Metronomicon, what is the Metronomicon?
The Metronomicon is a rhythm RPG. The idea is, if Rock Band is 4 people playing 4 instruments, this game is 1 person playing all 4. You got 4 tracks of choreography coming down in tune with the song, and at the bottom of each track is kind of a classic RPG hero: your warrior, white mage, red mage, paladin. You can play whatever track you want, dive between them, weave back and forth on the fly, and whatever you play on a given track kind of dispatches orders to that hero. So it's a turn-based RPG wrapped up in an arcade music game.
That's an interesting concept. Probably the first time I've heard of that. Those 2 genres being mashed. Who comes up with that sort of idea?
I am a terrible monster. I shouldn't be trusted. I guess. I guess the birth of the idea was really 2 different game ideas I had written up that turned out to be the same. So I was, the brief version, as I was looking at kind of how do you streamline an RPG. In my notes, I was calling it Infinite Runner RPG. Like, how do you get rid of all the menus and sub-menus and all the daunting UI that a lot of people find intimidating?
Yeah.
But preserve all the strategy and kind of make it like go, 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 run, constant forward motion. And the second idea was just simply, how do you bring strategy to a rhythm game? Usually most rhythm games are hit the note or don't, you got it or you didn't. That doesn't mean it's not fun. I love rhythm games, but it's rare that you get a subjective choice to like, what am I going to hit? What do I want to play? And so it kind of became clear, like, oh wait, music has a pulse. It has a constant forward motion. It has a beat. That should drive the RPG.
And talking about that, it's how RPG is this rhythm-based RPG? So do we have classes?
We do.
We have classes. How many classes do you have in total?
There are 8 classes, 64 abilities in total. As you level up, you unlock. You fully get to create your own party out of, ranging from, I'm not comfortable with music games, I love an RPG, I'm going to pick a straightforward combat stats-based party, to parties that, speed up how many notes you need per cast, but make your cast stronger and reward you for streaks and reward you for the judgment quality of your notes.
So you've got stats in the game. How deep do those stats go? Is it relatively important? And in fact, does it have the Holy Trinity?
The Holy Trinity?
The Holy Trinity, tank, DPS, healer?
Yes, then yes. It's... Somehow in our Big Silly Music game, it is a full proper RPG. You level up, and as you level up, you unlock new abilities. There are, treasure drop pools for all of the enemies, better ones for mini-bosses, better still for the bosses. There are actually side quest variants to every song that reward you kind of really good, interesting, nuanced strategic gear. In the arena, there's kind of ways to play songs with interesting mods and pre-built parties and challenges that give you, again, new opportunity for gear. So really, between like the party synergies you can build and the equipment, it goes really deep.
And talking of that, since we're talking about stats, RPGs themselves tend to have progression. Do you have progression in the game?
Yeah, so the full game is 50 songs, and the 50 songs are broken up into 5 big dungeons. And the idea is really every dungeon is kind of both a classic fantasy locale and a type of music event. Yeah. So like the first dungeon is a nightclub in the middle of a forest. We've got like a rock show in the middle of a haunted castle.
Nice.
We've got like a party yacht that just is floating out at sea on a collision course with an innocent
You've got an RPG party yacht.
Yeah. And as you beat each song, you visit a dungeon for the first time, and each song kind of represents a facet or a wing of the dungeon. In the castle, it's the grand hall, it's the dining space, it's the entryway, the throne room. And as you beat these songs, you kind of unlock more songs, and it's you're making your way through the dungeon, but by virtue of kind of getting more songs to play, and eventually unlocking the boss, defeating him, and unlocking actual voice-acted cutscenes through the most ridiculous story that I've been a part of.
So we've got a full story in this game as well.
Yeah.
And you've also said you've got side quests in the game as well. So in terms of that, there's a question: do characters level up?
They do, yeah. The characters level up, and full on, the characters that are in your party level faster than the ones that are on the bench. But there's a currency with which you can kind of upgrade your Rhythm Combat Academy, which is the school that you all go to. And as you upgrade it, one of the upgrades, changes the way you level and lets you upgrade. They let you upgrade. The upgrades let you unlock new team attacks, which are kind of like limit breaks. And there's a whole bunch of different equipable ones that do different things that you kind of charge up your meter across the course of songs and use it. There's elemental materials that serve as basically ability points to level up your abilities themselves.
Crumbs. Next you're going to tell me there's crafting.
There was almost crafting. We have materials, but the materials are a currency to upgrade the town and to upgrade your abilities. In the end, we did not So it was actually, there's a lot of discussion about the push and pull of balance between like RPG and music.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of both, and I really wanted to truly represent both. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I was afraid that, again, because the heart of the idea really was like stream down an RPG, make it accessible, keep the strategic depth and the nuance, but like make it easier to dive into.
Yeah.
And so every time there was, a feature, it was like, all right, how do we do this? But how do we keep the depth, but drop like the busy work and drop the scary part, the overload of UI.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
And talking about balancing both of those, how much of, obviously we've got an RPG in there, you've got a full story, bosses, sounds like you've got campaign, side quests. How much rhythm game is there actually in there?
A lot, actually. It's so we have 50 songs in total over 5 dungeons. All of the songs are they're all hand choreographed by myself and the team. 3 difficulties, 4 tracks per song, 50 songs. It's 600 tracks of choreography we've done for the base game, and they all have difficulty ratings attached to them. So as you move through the game, the songs get a little bit more difficult. You may find yourself starting on hard, move your way down to medium if it gets too hard, and equally likely find yourself getting more comfortable, move it back up.
Nice. And are we ever going to see speedrunning in it?
Yeah, we've done. It's really obviously well tailored for like score running and stuff like that. Who can get the highest score across this playlist, side quest especially, who can kill the most enemies before the song's over, steal the most treasure, things like that. But additionally, because you don't have to beat the entirety of a dungeon, beat every song before moving through, you only need to beat 6 songs out of the dungeon to unlock the boss and then beat the boss. So, if you're really good, you'll be underleveled, but you can speedrun a path through the game that really demands that you find the enemy's weaknesses, that you use the right buffs and debuffs at the right time.
So what have you found in development? Do you find it's RPG players or music game or rhythm game players that tend to find themselves taking to the game easiest to start off with?
It's an interesting question. I would say naturally taking to it is probably a music game player. Like they'll dive in, play on hard, and rage through the thing quickly. But because easy is really accessible, and actually all of the difficulties are balanced such that the choreography is more or less complex, but that does not make the combat more or less complex. You're never judged for how many notes you hit. You're judged for how many beats it took to do something. And so by virtue of that, somebody on hard has to do more to achieve something. Somebody on easy maybe doesn't have to hit quite as many complex notes, but the combat is still kind of equally satisfying. Taking your time to scope out, all right, I need to make sure my Inspire is live and that we're focused, and this enemy is weak to lightning, so I need to make sure my lightning's on tier 3 and that I'm using the right nuke at the right time.
Oh, it sounds like it could take a while to get into the nuance of this game. How long's the game been in development for?
Just about a year now, just a little over a year.
And how near to release is it?
Just under 2 months. We're looking to come out the end of September.
Wow, right up close there. Other than that, would you like to tell everyone how they can get the game, what platforms it's coming out on?
Sure, yeah. We'll be coming out for PC and Mac through Steam and wherever rhythm RPGs are sold.
Rhythm RPG resellers, most likely. It's highly likely we'll be featuring some more of this, and you will see some gameplay after this interview. Other than that, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been great, and we shall see more of the Metronomicon soon.
Awesome.
We've also got a couple of extra questions at the end of this that we are asking everyone, so I'm going to video this, and whether we transcribe this bit or not, I don't know. We also ask everyone, firstly, how they got into the games industry, how they started. Sure. How did you start in the games industry?
I actually worked for years at kind of a Hollywood studio company, not a studio, but a vendor that worked for them, doing licensed games and apps and Blu-ray discs.
Yeah.
If you have a Blu-ray and it's a Disney Blu-ray, it probably has my code on it. That was really fun, but doing licensed games is a little limiting. You're not going to make a game based on Wall-E that is a rhythm RPG. You're not going to make like a genre mashup, and all of my game ideas tend to be a little weird that a grown-up wouldn't take a risk on. And so myself and I stole a couple people from where I used to work, just started a studio out of my house to begin with, and to work downstairs.
Well, hopefully it'll go to every... No, in all seriousness, I hope it will go to every level of success, because it's a really good game.
Thank you.
I know I've only played it for a few minutes, but... something else I've not asked, so I'll have to cut this bit in. Getting music for a game like this, for Metronomicon, how did you go about getting people to submit music or licensing music, especially Jimmy Urine's stuff as well? These are relatively well-known electronic music producers. You've got a relatively headline and lineup of music for the game.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
I mean, honestly, we just pled honesty, I guess. The original plan was a couple friends of ours, really close friends, I think they're great musicians, and we were going to have them split the soundtrack 50-50.
Yeah.
And it was David, our producer, who kind of just said, like, hey, we're making a music game because we love music. We all have favorite bands. We should at least ask. And we did. The pitch was really straightforward. It's, hey, here's what we're making, especially we were really early in it and had virtually nothing to show. It was like, but we're huge fans. We don't have a big budget, but if we can work something out, we'd love to. And a shocking number of artists. Like you said, Jimmy Aaron, I've been a fan of for ages. We have Yacht, we have Perturbator, we have DJ Cutman, you've Shiny Toy Guns, an unreleased song, so much. And it was really just like, we got way more yeses than we got no's. People were interested and they wanted to do it.
It's great to hear. Other than that, I'll probably have to cut that bit in. Other than that, we're also asking everyone, what one piece of tech, irrespective of whether it's games related or not, has you excited at the moment?
Ooh. Oh, I'm thinking about that. That's tough. What piece of tech is it? I don't have an answer off the top of my head. I suck.
You can plot for the same one that everyone does.
What's that?
VR.
Yeah, no, I'd be lying. I don't want to show mine. The first thing that actually came to mind is we're making a custom dance pad for our game. But that's such a butthead answer.
No, that's really cool. So how custom is the custom dance pad? Is it just for your team?
Well, so you can use it for anything, but it's a custom dance pad. We're working with Precision Dance Pads. You make these really nice hard stock quality pads, and it's got Metronomicon art on it, and it's got the up, down, left, right, and then it's got additional buttons to shift your track left and right in the top and left and right corners.
Oh, that's really nice. The last dance pad that I ever saw in my house was one that my fiance's got for PS1.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could just shift that along the floor with my wife, but it's not the greatest quality.
Right, no, yeah, I've got 5 or 6 of them. I've got like the big blocky plastic ones and the floppy plastic ones, but this is like nice. It's actually really cool.
That's a really different answer then. That's
it's kind of a jerk answer.
it's not necessarily a jerk answer. It's different. Like I said, everyone else has said VR, and it's nice to have a different answer.
VR.
Well, thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, thank you.